Hey folks, it is Vince the Evil DM. I am back with another video here for my channel. This is 2025 and it's time for more videos here on the channel. So here I am sitting at the desk again, my player desk here, work desk, whatever you want to call it, with all the monitors here. You can't see them, but I welcome you to my channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the responsibility of players when it comes to role-playing games such as Dungeons and Dragons or any game for that matter. Players, much like a GM, need to prepare for the game just as much as a GM does. Now, a GM has a lot more on his plate when it comes to preparing for a game, but players can also prep a little bit too to alleviate some of the pressure on a GM. Now, before we get started, theevildm.com is my website. Ask the DM at theevildm.com is my email address. Ko-fi.com/theevildm is where you can leave a donation, or you can click join here on the bottom here and join the channel for 99 cents a month, and you can become a member and get videos ahead of time and a special member stream on Friday. As well as don't forget to subscribe if it's your first time here and like the video. So players need to share the responsibility when it comes to promoting collaborative gameplay, good gameplay, whatever term you want to use. Players should take the time and research the game that they're playing. Now, I know a lot of people that don't do that when it comes to new games. They don't bother reading any of it. They make their character, and then they just go from there. And they're the ones constantly asking, what do I roll? What do I need to do? What am I doing again? What does my weapon do? And as a GM, yeah, you're supposed to answer these questions, and yeah, I'll answer those questions. But after a certain amount of time of playing, it's like, come on, dude, just read the friggin' book. I like players that dive into the book, kind of get into it, and at least know the rules somewhat. I don't expect the player to know every rule because a GM never knows any rule, but know some of the rules, the basics for your character, and how to get started. Players should definitely try to have some goals and motivations for their characters, especially if it's going to be a long-term campaign or a long-term game. If you're just playing a one shot or maybe a couple shots, whatever, and I understand you don't really want to put much time into the character and you're just doing it for a little bit of fun, maybe you'll find a personality for the character, maybe you'll find a motivation, but it won't be anything massive. You should write down some things on your character sheet of what your character wants to do, like long-term goals, maybe short-term goals. And what you need to do is let the GM know these things. It's always good to be like, yeah, I want to do this with my character in the future, or I want him to be able to do this, so the GM can know how to plan stories for the campaign and try to revolve them around your character and give you the spotlight here and there. Characters should also have interdynamics with one another. There should be a reason that the characters want to work with one another, and a reason why they want to play, want to work with each other and want to have a story together. Players need to interact in character and out of character to help facilitate the game and get like a flow going. There's nothing worse than when you have a player that just, when it comes to the group talking things out or role playing, they just want to push forward and not care about anything. They just want to get the story done like it's an MMO or a video game with a linear story. They just want to get through it. And when it comes to the dialogue, with the people going B B B B B B B B B B B and not caring or whatever. Players should always maintain their character sheet as well. It's nothing worse than when you're playing and the character's like, oh, what was that weapon you gave me? What would you, we have to look it up again. Oh, what does this spell do? Oh, okay. Write down page numbers of weapons that you get or spells that you're constantly using so you know how to use them, so you can quickly pop to that page and read it. A lot of times when I had my own books playing games, I would bookmark pages of spells or something that I would use so that I would have it handy in case I forgot or we haven't played for a while. I can always just go look it back up and quickly tell the GM, okay, I'm using this spell, and they're like, okay. And you can kind of tell GM doesn't know everything, so I don't expect them to know everything. I don't know everything. I might ask, what does that spell do again? Oh, okay. What page? 52? Great. Okay, perfect. Now, if you're playing in person, you can also take some of the pressure or alleviate some of the things from the GM by helping coordinate. If you're playing in person, like maybe one of the players can set up the group text message and remind everybody when the game is. Or if you want to do it via email, some people don't want to do text message, they want to do email reminders. Maybe that one player will organize the email chain. Or if you're rotating where you're playing each week or where you're playing, some people play in different places. For a while when I was playing, I played at the Reaper Mini store, and then I played at the library, and then another couple times I played at another gaming store. So, and it was kind of rotating around depending on what was free that week, because sometimes gaming stores would have tournaments, libraries would have those rooms booked, and the Reaper Mini store had painters or something in it, and we couldn't play. So we'd have to coordinate. And sometimes the GM having to handle everything himself, along with creating the adventure, may need a little help from the players who can jump in and help facilitate that. It's just the best way to do it. And that's really about all that a player is really required to do, except come to the game, prepare to play the game, enjoy the game, and let the GM know what you like or dislike. Any GM who's worth anything would love feedback from their players, especially after the game, not during the game. After the game, maybe on the side, maybe in private, maybe a text message, something. Let the GM know what you liked about the game and tell them what you really didn't care for in the game. But don't be mean about it. And don't be like, oh, this was shit because your NPC was awful. No, just be like, well, I think we didn't have enough combat. We seem to not have enough combat in our games. You do a lot more role playing, and I would like just a little more combat. Okay, and the GM then maybe ask the rest of the group, what do you guys think? You want more combat or you mind role playing? And people will honestly tell you what they want. It's always good to get that feedback. I'd like to know what you do as far as a player. How much do you get into the games? Do you not care? Do you just make up your character and just fly with it that way? Or are you one of those guys that, you're playing a new game, you'll read that book cover to cover, you'll start looking online for things, just seeing what other people say about it. Those are players that are really engaged in the game itself. And that's what we generally like to see when we become a GM, we start a new game. We want to see people get into the game and really enjoy it. Now, not everyone's going to enjoy every game. There's going to be a player that's going to be kind of, laid back and not really into it. And you can't be perfect. Nobody is perfect, and not every game is going to be perfect. But you can try talking to that player when you see them like that and ask them what you could do to better facilitate the game for them. Maybe they just don't like the way it's being played, and maybe the group doesn't either. Ask the group, definitely, if they don't like the game. That's what I like to do every 5 to 10 meetings of our game. I like to ask them, so do you want to continue, guys, or do you want to jump to another game? Tell me what you think. That way it keeps it fresh and we're not stuck in an endless loop of one game and nobody wants to play it at one point that people just start dropping out. I'd rather, after 5 or 6 games in a row, what do you guys think? Enjoying it? Yeah. Okay, we'll continue for another 5 or 6. No, yes. What does the group overall think? Go to another game? Yeah. All right. Go to another game. So it's always good to do that. Check in with your players for that. Players should also check in with the GM and tell them what they think as far as how the campaign's going and their opinion. Not that you're not like you're a backseat GM person, just or whatever you want to call it. You just want to emphasize what you like about the game and what you enjoy about the game. That's all. It just helps give feedback. Tell me what you do as players for, I guess, prep or getting ready for a game. I'd like to know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click join if you want to join the channel. Ko-fi.com/SteveWillDM. I'm going to start putting up some stuff on there because some people wanted me to emphasize that a little bit more because it's good for donations. I don't know. I like to facilitate things for people. Anyway, I'm going to head out. Keep it original. Keep it old school. Good night, and God bless everybody.